All right, everybody, what's going on? This is Palworld, the game that might not exist after a lawsuit. So I thought, hey, what the hell? Just might as well get the what this game is at its current state and get that content out there right now while we have the chance, because it might not be there in the future. Basically, Pokemon's suing Palworld for being too similar to and all that nonsense. So they're trying to get the rights to it and basically everything. We might have to change the whole game itself, and so thought it would be a great time to do a playthrough of this game because it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. It's completely unique to itself as far as like the base operations go, and it is kind of like Pokemon in a way that you have to capture everything and use it that way. But it is pretty neat. So we're gonna play through on normal difficulty. Equipment and materials are dropped on the spot. That's fine. What's the difference actually? Pals. Oops. Pals are also harder to catch in a game. That seems like just more annoying. We are gonna play custom settings because I want to not grind my life away. So we're going for 3 times the XP rate. Actually, I'm gonna bump that up even further. Yeah, let's go 5 times. That's fine. That's fine. XP rate, PAL capture rate. I don't want to make it easier for us to capture stuff, so I'll just keep that as it is. Appearance rates. We'll worry about. We can. Each of these settings we can come back and edit later while we're in the middle of the map, basically. So if we need to, I will come back here, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. I want to keep mostly everything else pretty standard. As far as like PAL damages, or the PAL, that's going to drive me nuts. The PAL damages and the player damages and hunger depletion, all that stuff. Damage to structure, just keep it all standard, pretty normal. So you do still kind of get like the same effect as playing a normal difficulty instead of doing custom, doing this way. But you get to like fine detail all your specific settings basically. So this is an important one, making sure that if you have the capability and a computer that can support it, just increasing the amount of dropped items in the world, because your pals kind of build your base and like they chop down the trees and hit the rocks, and there's other pals that go and capture or grab the items and put them in storage. So it's important to have like a really high max cap that we're not losing any materials that are dropped and just can't be picked up yet. We won't multiply what we get or anything in any way, I think. That's fine. Time to incubate massive egg, that's fine. Enable raid events, yep. Drop all items, that's fine. Max number of guilds, it's going to be a solo server, so we don't have to worry about that. However, this one, I want to max out the number of bases possible. Just so we can basically have a base of operations for anything that we want. So this is going to be a point where we need crystals, and then we need a whole separate base for getting those kind of materials, and then same with ores and stone and wood and gardening stuff. And so we're going to have like a basic or a base for every one of the operations. And then we kind of want to max out the number of like the potential of what we can yield basically. So the number of bases we can have employed at, or the number of pals we can have employed at a single base. We're going to max that out. And these kind of scale as you level up. So there's going to be like certain levels to your pal base that you have to like achieve certain things as you go and level up. And once you achieve those things, your pal base will level up, and then you'll get more people that are more pals that can get what's employed at the base of operations or whatever it's doing for whatever you want it to do. Basically just to optimize everything, and then we have a computer that can support that many pals, so we're just going to go for it. So as far as the custom settings, that's what they were. It's basically normal difficulty with some very fine bells and whistles, upgraded XP rate, and um, just number of upgraded base. I guess that's the best way to put it. I'm not going to go too crazy with um player customization, because they're all kind of, I'm not a big fan of like any of the hairstyles, and then pretty much just have a buff dude, and you can adjust the torso size if you want to. There's some unique irises, I guess. Okay, well, we're normal. Holy cow. Yeah. See, I just start touching stuff, and just gonna keep it simple. I don't remember. I think. Oh, yeah. And we have all the hairstyles, but like they're kind of just, I don't know. It's just they just kind of float. So like this guy, it's like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. So we got something pretty simple, I guess. I like how I said I wasn't going to do this, and now I'm going through every single hairstyle and pretty much. Okay.
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. That's our character. Something pretty simple. I would like to zoom out so it doesn't look like I'm creeping on him, but okay. We'll just go right into the game. All right. So I have a basic rundown of how I want to go about the start of this. And then I have a couple of areas for bases in mind with certain aspects for each base. So I'll have an ore mining base. We'll have the starting base that we're going to move out of pretty quickly. We're going to have a main base that's going to have a lot of ranches. A lot of the pals that we can assign to a ranch will like produce really valuable just drops that we'd get. So pretty much have infinite amount of important resources that way. And then that will double as either the breeding area. So we'll have a base for breeding, ranching, and then manufacturing. And then we'll have a electrical base for producing crude oil, so we can get some. That's late game though, so we don't have to worry about that. So we have some plans. This is always on the same map. The map is always going to look the same, and we start off kind of in the bottom right-ish, or it's kind of center because there is some space down here to fill out. But we're pretty much towards the bottom of the map right now, and this is the starting zone. All right, and we're just going to basically fill this out as we go. Pick up things we need on the way there. Okay. A castaway? Been a while since someone who didn't stink of pals washed up here. The island is a living hell. The people I came with aren't with us any longer. Those damn pals ate every one of them. You be careful out there. Here, take some basic supplies. You need to toughen up if you want to survive out there. And she gave me 10 wood. Nice. So it seems like It's a very dangerous place to be. And yep, that's thanks to our XP boost. That's gonna fall off pretty quickly. But it is handy because you will have to grind a lot of XP, which is just really capturing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just tedious. I've done it a couple times at this point, so I kind of just sped it up to for the sake of brevity. It is just a playthrough, and I've done most of the things that the game has to offer. So this is a pail. It's like a little fluff ball, little lamb, a little sheep. This is basic food. It's just kind of lying around. They give you seeds that we can plant, and then pretty simple stuff, picking up wood, stone, so on and so forth. Uh, yep. All right. So I need to go down to starting space. Some more pals over there. Thought there was a staircase. Guess not. We'll just jump right down here. We have the ability to climb as long as we have stamina, so that's pretty cool. These little things right here, these have pale fragments in them, and that's used to make the essentially the Pokeballs. They're called something else, the spheres. We just got a mega sphere from that chest and some more coins and all that stuff. The other two podiums, because I got one up there when I went down the stairs, and this one right here. They're just little lore nuggets, basically. That's the best way I can put it. It's a little bit of backstory and things like that. Looks like the staircase is on the other side for some reason. That's kind of weird. Okay. There is a weight limit to this game. I think we're nowhere near it right now, but it is something that we have to constantly keep track of, and something that we basically have to upgrade frivolously. Speaking of which, okay, so this is the inventory menu here. These goodies we got from the chests. So this is a training manual. We basically give it. It's like a rare candy, but it's a certain amount of XP. So it's a XP boost for your pals, basically. This is the sphere. It's the fragment. Pretty straightforward. Some recovery meds, which is a healing item, obviously. Gold coins for this are pretty important whenever I get to merchants or one of the towns. There's a couple towns throughout the map that sell certain stuff and provide different things. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to be upgrading here is 1 point in stamina, and then I'm going to put some points into weight as well. Stamina, you really don't need too much of it. You can get by without ever putting any points into stamina, basically. I like to put a couple points into it just because running out of stamina could be really bad in certain situations. You're not able to dodge, you're not able to jump, you're not able to do anything. If you're climbing something, you run out of stamina, you fall, and a lot of times you can just die from that. So we are going to. This is the PAL box. These are technology points. So every time you level up, you get a certain amount of technology points, and then you can locate them to whatever thing that you want here. So this is a base. This is where you're going to be putting your pals in to do whatever job that they need to be doing. This will cover over pretty. We'll go over this more here in a minute. This is a pal sphere, campfire. This is how we cook food. A simple chest, a repair bench. I'm gonna skip over the wooden structure because we don't need that yet. Maybe not. I'm going to. So I could get a bow and immediately start doing that route, or I can just stick with the wooden club. We'll get the bed. We get the pal bed. So every time you employ a pal to your base, you're going to want to put a bed down, basically. A place for them to sleep at night because they don't work at night unless they have a certain stat block, and that's not everybody has that. And pals have this stat called stress, and if your pal stresses out, they will stop working, and it's a huge hassle. So basically, put a bed down so they don't stress out, so they can sleep at night. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so this is where we're gonna put our first base. This is not a very good space in terms of um, space, I guess. There's not a whole lot of open space. I mean, and you'll see what I mean for that in a second, because the space for a base is pretty large, and this area really doesn't cover it. But this is intended to be the starting base, or like the starting hub for every player. It's right down the hill, and it's got mountains on every side. So once you get a raid, they kind of just walk down this hill for a long time, and then eventually they'll make it over here, and then by that point, you're safe. And then I guess we'll take a quick glimpse glance at the map that we're looking at here. A checklist of everything that is always going to be there, and it's going to go through every single process you can possibly think of in the game, all the way to the very bottom where you reach the end game materials, basically how you beat the game. Each of these towers have a boss in it. That's the first boss right there. And these bosses basically are blocking us entry to the world tree. I don't believe, I'm not sure. I never made it to that point. So I didn't actually get every single one of these, and I never did any of the raids. I tried doing the oil rig, which is like it's a part on the map that's just big old oil rig, and it has a whole bunch of bad guys like Team Rocket, who are there, and they have pails, and it's like really cool, and it's like it has a lot of really good loot in it, but it's really hard to get to, and if you die in it, you're gonna lose all your stuff, and that's what happened to me. So I just kind of started fresh and decided to record this time around. But I think we wasted enough time here. So I think I'm going to immediately start off with. All right, so this is the pail box. This is where we're going to be employing all the pails in our base. I'm not sure if you can see it. I guess we'll just put it down and then we'll worry about that. But we want as much space as humanly possible. So I can see it over there. Okay, and then that's when that's ending. And okay, but we want to. So you can definitely see it now. There's a sphere around this thing, and it kind of borders out everything, so we can see it all nicely. And I just want to make sure that that rack over there and the wood and everything is in the lot. So you can kind of put it down. You don't have to. It's a hold the craft thing. Once you put it down, that's how basically everything is. We want to kind of make sure that we have most things here in the loop. It's fine if this tree isn't there. It's not that big of a deal. This is the biggest thing. That's an ore vein right here, and that these things are all going to respawn periodically throughout the game. So they'll kind of, any pails that we have here that can mine or like trap down a tree will always do it, as long as it's there. But it's just, that's how you progress through the game. This is a basic rundown of everything you would ever need to know in the game. I've gone through this. You are welcome to once you buy the game. Pretty much everything that I'm going to go through here with you just vocally. It will be all written down here in a very nice, organized layout there. Okay, so we got that part done. The button for crafting is B on the keyboard, and we already went and made the PAL box. It wants us to. Okay, so we're just going to put this down here. It wants us to build a primitive workbench before the PAL. I always build the base first, because I don't know why you build the workbench outside of your base, but okay. And then we have to find a good place for the workbench, which I always kind of line them against the uh, water level area over here. Primitive workbench. There we go. Okay. All the way at the end. Basically out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. There are a whole bunch of pails that can help you craft and build things as well, which is going to become so important later in the game because the crafting times for some of these things are like 30 minutes, like right off the bat. So you really need pails that really know what they're doing as far as getting those things or crafting. So you basically need crafting pails, like at least one at every base because it is incredibly vital. Okay, so we need to craft up our things here. So check it off the list. We're making a pal sphere. Okay. Then we have to attack a pal. So that second little ping there was us making the pal box. Guess we jumped the gun a little bit there, but that's fine. We'll build a wooden club. Basically, we need to make all of our basic materials. Our basic tools. Sorry. Okay, so there's that. Let's build a torch. And then we need an axe and then a pickaxe. And I hope we have everything, because I did pick up quite a bit of things. Quite a lot of stuff. So I stand corrected. I need a fair bit more stone and a fair bit more... I guess I'll just get the wood from this tree. I need one, and then I'll grab an axe or a pickaxe or to help collect the rest of the materials. So it's the same for both. The hardest to get would be the stones, so I will make a stone pickaxe. Okay. Yep, there we go. So when you run out of stamina, it goes red and you can't do anything. You can't attack, you can't dodge, you can't jump. You're kind of just stuck there. You can kind of move around, like you can walk around, but you can't sprint, you can't jump, anything like that. So yeah, these little deposits, they have a lot of materials in it. Like I have 34 stone. Sometimes they drop palladium fragments, which is what we need to make the pal spheres. Pretty important stuff. I'm pretty sure we can use a pickaxe to hit a tree, and I think it does more damage than a fist would. Let's give it a test. So, 11 rating. I have very, very minor. So I don't even think it's worth using up the stat points I have on here, or the durability. Sorry, my brain. Okay, so then now we have all of the basic materials. Once we get this crafted up, they kind of get auto-slotted into the correct spots. Should have, yep. All right, so let's upgrade some of the things here. I need one more weight and one more stamina. I'm going to keep on upgrading stamina until we get to 150, basically, and I'm going to keep it for the rest of the game. And I won't touch that stat ever again from that point on. It's basically going to be work speed and weight would be the two. I don't really scale up anything else. You could do attack, I guess. I haven't really done that, and I haven't really seen the differences that it could have, or like the impact, I guess. Looks like there's a lot of pails here. I need to grab one of these cats because these guys auto mine and they pick up. They are really good, but once I attack one of these guys, they're all going to get ticked off. So I need to... Okay. Alright, the trick is the same as Pokemon. You just kind of beat them up until they're low, and then you smack them with the ball. so we got that guy all settled and captured. And I'm immediately going to put him into the base. So we are going to need to make a bed. There we go. So we need fiber and wood. Let's go chop down a tree. You'll see in the top right, pals without beds will get stressed. So there will be constant reminders basically telling you how you should be going about doing things. Pretty straightforward. This game is really good about guiding you to what you should be doing and how to go about it. And then it's also incredibly open, so you can go about it in however way you want to. So basically attack it in whatever angle that you feel the best. So I need to craft a bed. I always like to put a bed right next to where the specific pail will be operating next to. So for this instance, this pail is going to be in mining. So I'm going to put a bed right next to where one of the instances where it could be mining at. For this one, it is mining. So I put it right next to the rock. And that way, it just goes to bed right next to where it would be working. That way it doesn't have to go too far. Maximizes efficiency of your pails. That's kind of what this game is all about. Just maximizing efficiencies, maximizing your pails, and what they can do. Pretty straightforward. In a very arbitrary way. So, all right. So, below where it says current tasks and just below all the stat points and everything, you'll see a bunch of symbols with a number value next to them. Each one of those things basically depict a job that a pail can be employed to do. So this guy the hand there is the crafting, so it can craft. The leaf is gathering, so it can gather the berry bushes, I believe. And it will also gather plants that are completely done. So once it's already been watered, it's already grown and everything, then that's that point right there, or the leaf. That means it can go and gather it and automate that. The pickaxe is for mining. You need a level 2 miner to mine the ores, so we can't quite get any of the ore yet, but we'll be able to mine all the stone. And then the little package there means it can move materials that are left on the ground to your storage units. And you'll see that here in a minute once I put down a storage unit or a chest. And then there's also passive skills that a pal will have, like motivational leader and coward. Both of them do certain things depending. View in detail. Yep. So this would increases my work speed if I have it equipped in my party, and then it has reduce attack. And then it also has a partner skill. So once you have it equipped on your Poke team or your pal team, whatever you want to say, then that would come into effect. So this guy would increase my carrying capacity. It's pretty handy for the start of the game. Okay, and then over here you can see the work suitability, the handiwork, transportating, gathering and mining, all those fancy things. So it's getting pretty dark out. There is a secret. We need to eat some berries real fast. There's a secret killer to this game, and that is weather conditions. So this torch here is incredibly important. It is increasing our body heat. So when it gets dark out here, we're going to have to keep this torch out or stand next to one of the campfires to stay warm, or find clothes to put on to stay warm, all that. There are certain regions of the game that are snowy, and certain regions of the game, like the volcano that's out and about here, that is pretty hot. So we need to delegate resources accordingly. Basically, we need to stay warm or stay cold depending on the situation. Yep, so it is really important to get that torch out by the time you reach the first night, which is incredibly doable. It'll be pretty hard not to unless you're doing nothing. Oh, here it is, the cold, and then you'll see the health at the bottom left is starting to tick away pretty fast, as well as the food. And the moment I bring out the torch here, that goes away, and everything's working accordingly. Okay. I also like to keep a chest next to the things that are that are being collected. So if I have a ranch, I'm going to have a chest specifically collecting everything that is going to be ranched out. So for the bees, they produce honey. I'm going to basically put a chest there for all the honey or all the wool that gets produced from the sheep. In this instance, I'm going to put a chest over here by the rocks so that it collects all the rocks when needed and just goes into that pile. And then there's also an incredibly specific filtration system in the chest settings, so we can really go into detail about what goes into each chest. We're just going to keep this open for now because we're not going to be picky about it. We have to craft cloth outfits and equip it to prepare for the nights. So that's another way to go about it. We'll have to basically go and capture some of these lamb balls, and they will drop wool, and then in turn we can craft armor or cloth clothes to stay warm for the night. So those are your two options to really prepare for the chilliness of the nighttime. Yep, that's a lot of weight. Okay. I'm going to deposit. So I think I'm going to make this chest the stone, wood, or palladium and fiber. We'll just keep all those things in there. I'm not going to put any filters on anything yet, not until we get more chests and more materials to work with. But basically, as we're going about our day and going and doing whatever it is that we want to do with our time, the pal is going to be working in the background to basically collect all these things, bring it to the base. So we'll be generating resources as we're going about doing anything passively. All right. All right. So what we're trying to do here, I guess we got to beat stuff up with our torch. It's too cold. We're just going to capture some lamb balls. Every time you capture something, you get their drop that you would get if you killed it. So this game really kind of pushes to just capture everything instead of killing it. Because you get a lot of benefits that way. And there's even more like prestige points, like capturing like 12 of them gives you specific bonuses and upgrading them. And that'll become pretty prevalent later on. It's more of a mid-game thing, capturing and prestiging out a certain pal. Wow, that was kind of rude, dude. I don't think that collateral was really necessary there. So I'm not sure how much we need. We will go and craft as much cloth as we can right now. And that is 2. Oops. Every time we complete a mission, we can go over here, or there's specific missions inside the Palworld or the Pal box over here. And once we complete them, we can upgrade the base, basically. So base upgrade, I'm gonna press V. Build a wooden chest, deploy a working pail at the base, and then upgrade. So now we have a max number that we can have, as well as a new max number of bases that we'll have at the next upgrade. So now we have to build a bed in order to upgrade it again. We're not going to do that quite yet. We need some cloth first. Or we already have the cloth. We just need to unlock the technology. Okay, so cloth outfits. Unlock that. Unlock the feed box. That's how we automatically feed our pails. We put it down and then fill it up with food, and then from there they automatically go there and eat whenever they're hungry. We'll grab a shield, quick berry plantation, ranch we'll need, ladder we'll need. We need the statue of power, the Pal Gear workshop or workbench. and then the logging site, and then the stone pit. So these two things basically make it so that you don't ever need any of any of the trees or any of the rocks in any of your bases. These are basically just structures that you build, and then they can have three pails working at them at one time, and they each generate wood and stone on their own as the pails working on them. So you won't actually need any of these auto-generated resources like the trees and the rocks. You can basically set up a base, and then it can be completely open with nothing on it, and that would actually be probably the most ideal spot for a base. Unfortunately, there's not too many spots in the world that are like that we could use, but that's all right. There are a couple that we will utilize. So let's build this cloth outfit perfectly in time for the next day when we don't need the heat, or we don't need the to keep warm, I guess. Okay. Outfit. Good. And it automatically equips. Good. Let's upgrade our stamina and our weight yet again. Okay, what's the next objective? Capture 5 land balls to earn XP. And then craft a shield. Okay. Is that all we want to do? No, I guess so. We have the let's build a bat, actually. I think we might have the resources for that. It's like an upgraded club. It's pretty handy. We just need some more wood. Oops. Which is doable. Drink my coffee here. Ah, nice and cold. It shouldn't be cold, but it is. It is what it is, right? Okay. So, kind of just been staring at this thing over here, but this is an incredibly important little statue. There's going to be little green squirrels all over the place throughout this map, and there's more than we'll ever need. And what they do is kind of like a prestige collectible, I guess. Once you get to a certain amount where you've collected these things, you can upgrade the rate at which your spheres capture pals. So basically, it increases the chance that you will successfully capture one of your pals. I think that's the best possible way I can put that. Incredibly handy. It's later on towards the end of the game, a lot of the end game creatures are incredibly hard to capture because it's just astronomically, like the percentage chance is just so low, no matter how low you get them. So prestiging up that specific ability is incredibly important. All right, let's get this bat so we never have to use this club again. We'll just discard the club. Yep, we don't need it. And then it does like twice as much damage. Anything that we'll ever need. All right. So I need to capture 3 more of these guys. Yeah, look at that. 2 shots and done. The bat also has a chance to stagger and stun the pal, which increases if there's a status effect on the pal when you go and capture it, like burning or poison, and there's also stagger and stun. It increases the odds of capturing it. So you see there'll be a percentage chance when you look at something. If you upgrade that, basically, or the more you hit them, the more probability it'll be for you to capture them. Oops. Like that, it's a 100% chance because I got them low, and then boom. Okay. Need to find one more land ball. Might be one up here, a little bit closer to the base. Or not. But over here. I don't want to go too far. There's a chest over there. I guess we can grab that while we're looking around here. All right. Chest. Oh, there's the land ball. What's up, buddy? Pretty far away, dude. All right, 33% chance, and then one smack, and it's at 36% chance, and then 90%. I think I can take one more hit. I think. I can. Wow. Okay. That definitely should have just killed it right then, but that's okay. And then at the bottom right, you see the 5 out of 12. That's because I captured 5 out of 12 of them. If I capture all 12, I get a huge XP bonus. And that's pretty important for grinding XP. Basically, we'd have to go through like nearly every single pail to really upgrade all the way, level up all the way. So that's kind of why we put on the limiter or the extra boost to the XP. Okay, so he's resting. He'll go through times when he's right, when he goes on breaks. So to alleviate some stress, and that's all automated on its own. We're going to put the other Cativa in there, and then we're going to put another bed down next to this. I guess next to this guy over here. And then the other guy is still resting or slacking off over there, so otherwise they'll both be over here helping me work on this thing. I'm gonna go by super fast. All right, so that's done. We have all the land balls balled up. I'm going to put them into the box here. Okay, so next step, crafting a shields and a parachute, and we need to capture 30 pails. So basically we need to get the base up and running. So I need 2 cloth. And yep, this guy's gonna help out. Oh, that was fast. Okay. And then we'll build our glider. And see how long that's taking? This is at the most basic parachute, because there's a whole bunch of tiers of parachutes and everything. So we're really gonna need to level up our work speed, because that is abysmal. I mean, he will sit here, or the Cativa will sit there and do it on its own, so I can walk away, and it's still going to build it for me. But if it has more than one thing on it, it goes by twice as fast. So getting pails that can actually do that effectively is pretty important. We got some grenades. And then we got some food for advanced food. Okay. We got 1 point, so put it in stamina. Okay. Take a look at our... So we need a crusher. That's pretty important. Structure, building. You know, my brain is like constantly short-circuiting here. Hopefully you guys are keeping up with me. All right, so we need to craft a shield. So we just need some wood and some palladium. Okay. You can get palladium just from mining regular stone, but this is like an actual deposit, so might as well just mine this up while we can. All right. We need some more wood and palladium. So you can manually come and pick these up and deposit them, or you can wait for your pail to finish breaking up everything, because they'll kind of just go through and like hit everything and make sure everything's on the ground. Then they'll go through and pick everything up. So sometimes it's good just to have pails that are specifically there just to pick everything up, so they kind of work at the same time. But we don't have a way to delegate that right now, so we're just going to roll with what we got going. I don't really need to put that in there. Okay. So then we need some wood, and then we should be able to make a shield. Oh boy. That guy's pretty tough. So hopefully we stay away from him and he stays away from us. We might be getting pretty unlucky here with the fact that he's just strolling right into our base right now. This guy's pretty high level, and we're only like level 5 with our pals. I mean, we're level 9 ourselves, but that really doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, as far as stats go and everything, like that's it's pretty huge, the difference in what they actually entail. Okay, let's make a common shield. See him hustle his way over here. Little stubby legs. I keep bumping my mic every time I go take a bite of my soup. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Okay, so we crafted shield. Craft and equip the normal parachute, which is equipped, and then we have to use it. So all this is, it uses stamina, so this is why another reason why stamina is pretty important. All we have to do is press space while we're in the air, and then we kind of just glide around to where we're going. And then you'll see it uses up stamina pretty quickly, less so when you get to the lower levels, or to the later levels. Or higher levels, whatever. Okay. So now we just have to really go and capture a whole bunch of things to do the things that we want them to do. As crazy as that sounds. So how much technology points do we have? Let's hold up. So stamina, we'll just max that out right away so we don't ever have to touch it again. We'll grab a hot spring. This is like a, when the pails go on break, we'll choose to go in the hot spring instead, and then we'll cover a whole bunch more stress, and then it's basically super efficient to max out the efficiency of everything that we need to do. This is poison bow. Okay, I don't think I need a whole lot. We'll make 45. They're gonna take forever to craft. We'll cut to the end of crafting the arrows. I can eat my soup. And bump my mic. Because I'm wearing a baseball cap. Every time I look down to go take a bite, I'm bumping the mic with my baseball cap. All right. So we just crafted up our arrows that we need. And bow. We need a... Yep. I only have 2 of those, so I need to grab more spheres just in case this guy wants to be stubborn. Oh my god, that's not a whole lot. I guess we'll go grab the proper materials, I suppose. And I really hope these guys start transporting the items pretty soon. Oops. So a lot of you just woke up from a nap, dude. Why are you on a break already? Man, this guy's a slacker. I would not want to work with this guy. Okay. And then we might as well just pick everything up because these guys don't want to work. Oh, we need to make a a food thing for them before I forget again. There it is. Why is it? Okay. Oh, that's so much wood. I just spent so much time trying to get that. Dang it. So I'm just gonna put it right here, I guess. And then, yep, work speed is definitely important. I mean, this is just painful. And that's like one of the most basic possible things that you could ever give your pals. So I'm just gonna put half of those in there, and that should be enough. And then whenever they're hungry, yep, they're gonna come over and, so 9 more, that'll do. That's fine. I have a feeling this guy might need more than that. And if that's the case, nice, he's gonna work on it. I'm gonna grab more wood. To create more, I guess. Oh, my weapon. Oh, man. All right, and this is why we need the repair station, repair bench. All the wood that we just gathered goes to that. All right, now they're both working on this. Look how fast this is gonna go. So you see the rate is going now, and when the next guy finally gets here, where is he? Oh, there he is. Hustle for us. Well, we can't really. It took you 15 seconds to walk. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, at least he's putting the work in, and now we don't have the wood needed to repair. So that's fantastic. All right, wood needed to repair, and wood repaired. And now that we do that, okay. So I really hope. It's really tough. 'Cause I don't want to be underprepared, and I don't want him to despawn. I'm staring him down over there. He's just walking around. He can walk off anywhere. There's a place where he can walk down over there, so I don't want him to head in that direction. Or despawn, for that matter, because that would make me sad. Okay, so I guess we'll make 8 more while we're over here really fast. You guys are on breaks again? Wow. We're gonna have to have like a manager's meeting. All right? I'm gonna have to tell you what's up. This is not okay. Like, how many 30-minute breaks do you need in a day? Most people don't even get one. Or lunch. They have to eat while they work. You know? And you're over there just walking around, just like dilly-dallying, like, come on, chop chop, let's go. If you have time to lean, you got time to clean. If you know, you know. All right. That's not a lot of damage. Oh my god. This might not be possible. Okay, I'm gonna try and draw him over here. Oh. Oh, that worked out in our favor. Okay. So that's the dodge button. That's basically how we're going to. I don't think I have the correct amount of arrows needed here. Especially if we're going to be missing. But if our pals over here are going to... Ooh. Yeah, but that's so much damage to them. I don't want them to... Oh, you dummy. What are you doing down there? Oh my gosh. What? Oh. We might be able to cheese it now, though. So, buddy, you kind of did that to yourself. No, we can definitely cheese this. As much as we can, anyway. So, yeah, it's a 2% chance, dude. I don't... I can just hit it with that from here. Can I? No, not even from here. We're like right up on it though. Oh. Oh, and he's following us. Okay. Well, you know, we're making progress. Oh, man. And our shield's back up, so that's a free hit, basically, that we are pretty sure to survive. And it looks like, oh man, can't be missing shots right now. Oh, dude. Come on. Three more shots? What are we at? 4%. Oh, oh man. 1,200 damage? That's pretty... That's not good. Oh. Oh, shit. Okay, bud. And then both our pails got stuck because they're dumb. I had to run over here. Yeah. Okay, I know we just took a hit. But hopefully these guys are gonna do the rest of the work for us. Oh, 20%, that's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. Yeah. Yep. We just needed to proc once. Come on. It's gonna die. Come on. How many times did I hit it in a row and it didn't proc once? Once it hits that if the 20% chance, if you hit that one time, it goes all the way up to 60% chance for you to hit it again. Like, it almost ensures it. Right? And that would have sealed the deal for our base. And are you kidding me? What are the... Okay. Isn't that lovely? Well, let's keep on going about our fucking day. Now, man, that pissed me off. Anyway, moving on so I don't give myself a freaking ulcer. I don't know why I'm saying freaking after dropping that many F-bombs, but, you know. What a shit show that was. I'm still pissed. That's so ridiculous. I mean, the odds of that spawning, the odds of this guy kind of just strolling up here this many times, the odds of him getting stuck over there and getting some free damage, all for nothing. All for fucking nothing. We hardly even got any XP from it. What a joke. So we're going to upgrade our working speed. We're going to get a furnace. We could get a 3-shot bow. Man. Bear trap 2. We're going to need... This is just a crafting material that we're going to need for certain things. This is like basically the helm. There's helmets, and then there's like the chest plate, for lack of a better term. And I guess we might as well. We already got our one bow, but we have all the resources needed for that. So that's checked off. I'm not sure what else we could possibly get right now. We don't have any more arrows, so we can unequip that. It served its purpose for the time being. I'm going to snag some of these guys. These guys are pretty useful. They work even at nighttime. They're nocturnal. So we can, and these guys, basically all they do is move stuff, really. So they're pretty handy. I'm pretty punny. What is with these pails, dude? That is a 40% chance. You should proc once. Dude, are you kidding? Okay. There we go. 75% chance. It's looking pretty good. One more hit. And 75% chance. Okay. Like I said, these guys are pretty handy. They're actually incredibly useful to have as a pail that you would put out and attack. So this is something I haven't shown yet. And since these guys are kind of low, though, it should be fine. So you can deploy them, and they can kind of just run around with you. And then anything that attacks you, they will attack. And then anything that you attack, they will also help eliminate. If you watch this guy, you'll hopefully... Yep, there he goes. And then he does some serious damage. And then you can draw them back, and then all is good. So you can basically use your pails to help you capture things, do damage. And they will also provide buffs, and certain pails will give you active abilities. They can kind of turn into like a gun of some sort, because that's kind of the gimmick of this game. It's kind of just like guns, and using pails kind of like almost like ammo, or like using their abilities in a way that a gun would be similar to it, and then capturing stuff with Pokemon. So it's unique in that kind of aspect. Since we got these guys, I need to deploy. I'm gonna hold on to one of them, probably the one that's has the best stats for keeping in my. So this guy's a work slave, so that means he's gonna have higher work output, work speeds, and less damage. So he would not be a good person to put on my team. This guy, however, has really good stats for that. Serenity is pretty good. I'll look at it again. Active skill cooldown reduced, and decrease to our increase to our attack. Artisan, that is increase the work speed, so he should be right there. And like on the right here, you can see that it's a gatherer, and it transports stuff and does the handiwork. So these guys will basically just be picking stuff up. And then the Kativas that we have there will basically be just mining stuff constantly, and then occasionally picking things up and moving them that way. We're going to increase our work speed again, and we're going to unlock all our metal gear. Okay, and this is huge for everything. Let's see. Once you capture a pail that requires a certain item to unlock their special ability, so there's quite a few pails in this game that have special abilities. You need to craft an item that's usually pretty hard to get. This one isn't incredibly hard to get. You just need some leather, which a lot of creatures will drop leather. So we unlock that, and if we take a look at our daydream over here, you can see that it requires that item for us to unlock whatever the dream chaser is. So we need to basically craft the item first. It's like a one and done type thing. You don't need to craft one for every single pail that you have. You just need to craft one of them, and then every single daydream that you have will have this ability. And then, yep, once you get it, you always have it. And then it's one and done type thing. So yep, that's basically it that you need to know for that. What other items should we be crafting right now? Let's take a look. I don't need the torch. That's fine. These are pretty important. An alarm bell, so when raids do happen, and I'll point out when they do, it basically alerts all my pals that this is happening, and they need to defend the base. And then a trap. This is something that we can set up to effectively capture small pals. I've never once used this thing, so I'm going to keep it that way. Maybe we can check it out at a later episode if you guys would like. Speaking of which, if you like this content and you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit that little bell whenever you want to see when I release content, which is pretty regularly. I'm either recording or editing videos all the time. Okay, so we need to build 2 beds. These guys will never have to sleep, but when they get stressed out and like they freak out like the one guy did, said he was upset and went to bed, you're going to want to make sure that they have them, even if they are nocturnal. So Yep. I'm putting these beds over here by the chests. That way, because these guys just transport everything, they'll be right next to the base of operations, where they're going to be moving, basically all that. So I'm going to build a couple more chests here, not too many, just so we have all the possible resources. Right. And then we're going to start organizing everything. So let's take all the basic materials out of here. If you're overweight, that's fine. It really means you can't run, you can't sprint, you can't climb anything, you can't use your glider. But you can move around really slowly. Let's go into the chest settings. We only want wood, PAL materials. We keep that off. We don't need eggs. We don't need ingots. No schematics. No enhanced items. No key items. No defensive. We don't need gliders or ammo. No food. We'll put the stone, the ores, production goods. Other materials, skills, fruit, other consumables. So we'll keep it these 5 things, I guess. Actually, just what else do we need to put in there? This material. I'm not sure if that would. Okay, yes, that would. So this chest, we're only doing stone, ores, and wood, and that would account for the ore, the wood, the stone, the fiber that we have, the palladium fragments. So basically all these things will or not infinitely, but they stack to 1,000, or at least most of them do. So they'll stay in there for a good long while. It might even be like 9,999. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But like I said, any of the pals would automatically put all those things into this specific item container. It will not accept, like I'm right clicking on the Venom Gland here. It's not putting any of this stuff in, the frag grenades, all this stuff. It will not go in there because we whitelisted everything, or blacklisted, whatever. My brain's not working. So we go over here, we turn off wood and stone and ores, and that way they will never put extra materials into either of these chests. All the things that we want them to be will be put into this chest. And for this one, let's make this one production goods, other materials, and then we'll do panel materials. I guess we need here, I'm going to make this one ingots as well when we get around to that. Turn off ingots. We don't need schematics. Enhance items. We'll keep key items. Turn that off. We don't need defensive. Don't need glider. Ammo. Food is always going to be put into our food stock if it's ever dropped. Production goods. Other available materials. Turn those off. And then turn the other consumables options off. So as far as those things, it should be all our droppables, basically. Won't be able to put frag grenades or any manuals or any food or anything like that, any spheres. So then that would leave just this guy for the rest. Put the seeds in there, and then everything else is good. Okay, what's next? So we could go out and basically capture a whole bunch of smaller dudes. We could go look for a fox spark, which is going to be really good. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So let's see, how many? I only have 8 spheres. I need a total of 19. How many can we make here? 7? Okay, so we'll have someone crack 7. Let's go. Nice. All right, they're on it. So we are constantly gaining the resources needed. So I'm going to hop over here to where they can't mine over here. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this is the border. All the pals won't mine anything outside of the border. I think I mentioned that, but I wanted doubly sure. So basically, these guys will never come over here to mine these over here. Which is another reason why this kind of location isn't the best. Because there's this huge area in the middle that's just not being used. We can build things. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to be built over the water. So we can build structures and things. So maybe this can be in a pretty decent starting area if we built the foundations up around this area and like made it all level. But I don't know. I think we're just gonna move to a new base once we get around to it, and just make that our main base of operations. But this will do for now for the starting base. Oh man. So this is one of the big guys that spawn up here. This is the scary part about living up here. These high level 34 dudes, you hardly ever see these guys ever in the wild, and when they are like one of the most beast things possible. And they're one of the bosses in this area. It's like this cool little spot. It's like supposed to be made for like this spot is made to be a starting area, but it has a late game boss designed into it, and it kind of just walks up to your base. No, actually, it might still be viable though, because we're only missing this space. If we can put a foundation, I'm not sure if I went and I did. It looks like we can, but I'm not sure how far. Because if we can do that, we would make use of all this space, and then this could just be the starting base that we'll have. So I might do that in between episodes. I might see if I can build out the base. And for this first episode, I kind of want it to be like the raw start, like the typical footage or what the experience. Goodness, the experience of what it'd be like to first start out. Also, little caveat. Any item that we have in any of our storage boxes can be used to craft. So all the items that we just deposited into that chest there can be used to make all these pal spheres right here. Pretty neat. It like registers over, and you don't have to worry about anything like that. Like having the items on you to craft any of the materials. It's super nice. All right, so what point do I need to get to today? So I think I'll just keep on playing for a little while until I get to a stoppable point. It's pretty open world from this point on. We kind of just let you loose to accomplish whatever you really need to. So there's really no good stopping point, and it's going to be a while before we actually get to any of the starting bosses. So I guess we just keep on going along with all the starting things here. We're going to craft up our helmet or the feather band. Okay. It automatically equipped to give us more defense, more health. It's pretty handy. It's going to help in the long run. Okay. So what else do we need to craft? We need to craft a fire. Campfire. We need wood for that. Okay, I'm just gonna go around and chop all these little bits here. Okay, and then we also need to go find a fox spark. He's gonna be our flame dude. Basically, he's gonna run our furnace. He's gonna be able to cook all our food that we can cook. So the meat that we have in our inventory, we'll be able to cook that. And then he'll be able to smelt the ore that we're going to be getting from this ore vein that we can mine here in a minute. We're also kind of passively getting ore from the stone. Occasionally, the stone will drop little bits of ore, but not a lot. This has like 30 or 40 and just sitting there right there. You know, we should actually just mine that so that we can reset the timer on it. That would become the most bang for our buck. So reset the timer for it to respawn and us to basically hit it again. Pretty self-explanatory. All right. There's a lot of like really tedious like menial tasks and like time in between. I guess I can just drop the fiber that we have and let the tails come pick them up. Oh, are you kidding me? Man, that was in like prime condition. I don't know why that just broke so fast. Might as well pick up the fiber. Oh, walking so slowly. All right. So I think I'm actually just going to drop all these things off. And I think I'm just going to go right to the Fox Spark, or where I think they would be, because they kind of just spawn in one area. Or in this area, they spawn in a certain place. Might as well repair everything while we're over here. We only need the bats. They can get to be high level. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. This is empty already. I need to go pick. I need to pick some berries while I'm moving around here. Okay. So usually they spawn down here a ways. Let's take a look. Jump off. Use a glider. There it is. So that's the Fox Spark. That's going to be our little furnace guy for a good long while. There are other certain things that we need to look out for, like those penguins. Those guys are going to be what we use to water our plants when we get around to gardening and making our own food in base, which should be really shortly here. Okay. Oh, and then these guys are super important too. These guys are going to be our planters, basically. Please turn around, dude. Maybe come back. You can blame it all on me. Alright, come here, dude. Oh, what? One more. No, you dumb. Dumb. It's because I have... See, that was a 58% chance, and then the odds go up as it goes. Might as well grab more than one of these guys while we're over here. Okay. So we're actually pretty well off. We kind of have every single basic necessity that we need outside of lumbering. Nice. There we go. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is where the first boss spawns. And when I say boss, I mean there's random regional roaming bosses, and they're tougher than normal. There's a boss bar and everything. This guy, you really don't ever beat him until like the very end of the game when you start knocking out all these. Basically, you can knock this one out before you even touch this guy, and then but for the other ones, it's around the same time. So we really won't ever. And there's another one because they kind of spawn randomly. This guy will like walk all the way up there. The boss would just stay in that general area. We need to go grab these penguins over here because they're going to have the ability to water, and to once we unlock the fridge and the refrigerator, they will be able to keep our food cool and basically prolong the or preserve our food. That's a little bit up the road here, but once we get him, I have a feeling it's not gonna. Yep. How did I know? How did I know? Of course. And there's a stat that you can increase in the menu, in the setting menu that I was messing with that I didn't touch because I feel like it takes away part of the game, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just a tedious thing. Like sometimes you get incredibly unlucky, sometimes it just kind of works out. Whatever you want to deal with, it's not gonna impact your game too much. Okay. All right, so we got those guys. Oh man, we're kind of sandwiched in between two bosses here. Okay, we somehow snuck past them both. Right, it's a little premise. Might as well. I don't. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, dude. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddies, friend. I don't want to. Sorry, bud. That's still a pretty good rate right there. Okay. Hey. Usually if it pings once, it's pretty good. All right. We need a lot of berries. And we're going to be able to set up all the basic functions now. And then I'm probably going to call it for the episode once we get to that point. And then I'll probably do a lot of off-screen stuff, basically everything in between all the tedious ore gathering and all that. I guess I'm just thinking out loud over here, not like you guys are actually going to be... There's a chest over there. Okay, these things are like fast travel spots throughout the map. There's going to be a crap ton spotted or dotted around. So these are going to be pretty important to pick up on. Plus they give you a skill point, which is pretty handy. Okay, chest, some extra bread, which we can eat one of those right now because we're hungry. Okay. I'm going to grab one or two more fox sparks. Yep. See, the best part of having the bat there is kind of just staggers them where they just stay stunned. So it's like a stun lock, and you can get their health down really low. It's pretty handy. So sometimes it's just pale spheres just hanging around on the ground. It's pretty cool. Let's grab all the gear. There's another one of those effigies over there. And I guess I can go up and around that way, because I know the map a bit. Actually, is there a way up? There is. Kind of. I mean, that's doable as long as I have the stamina for it. Alright, we're just going to go for it. I'm jumping in. I have a fear of deep water, so that kind of trips me out every time. There's nothing in the water ever, so it's not something you ever have to worry about in this game. But it's still like in the back of my mind, you know. One of those things, I guess. Okay. Oh, there's a chest. Okay. And then there's some guys up here that are going to be pretty handy for... We might actually be able to get our lumberjack guys. I'm pretty sure these hand guys, no pun intended, because I keep on doing that with the handy jokes. But the tansies over here, pretty sure they have the ability to be a lumberjack and mine out like trees for us. So we'll get one or two of these guys. So those guys are pretty important too. They're pretty high level though. So probably gonna leave them alone. Don't want to waste all our pal spheres on just a measly little... I mean, they're not measly. They're pretty... Those guys are pretty good. They've got level 2 stats. It's pretty important. But it's kind of out of our ballpark right now. A bit out of our grasp. Okay, so we got 2 of those guys. Should be enough for now. I guess... I mean, while we're in the area... I'll just kind of capture anything that we stumble across if we can. Okay. Boom. Grab these mushrooms. Oh, what? That was an 80% chance there, bucko. Up to a 90. Wow, you got... Trying to annoy me, huh, game? Well, you kind of just sealed your fate there, buddy. There's a Nightwing, so that's going to be our first flying mount right there. Let's grab this life monk. These guys are also pretty useful. These guys turn into a semi-automatic rifle, so it's going to be one of the best early game weapons. Or pals, I guess. Okay, I think we can grab one of these guys. These guys aren't incredibly useful because we already have the watering ability. Um, but I guess while we're in the neighborhood, right? All right, nice. Drop some pal fluid. That's pretty important. All right, it's another one of those effigies. I didn't know that was here. So there's a lot of important things in our visual range right here. First off, that's the oil rig. That is where we would go to. That is incredibly late game. That's one of the last things you do once you reach level 50. This is a skill tree, so it has 3 skill fruits on it, which is the or effectively it's the TM to our to the Palworld. And then we can just jump right over here to climb right back up. And here's an egg. These are dotted around everywhere. There's a incubator in this game where you can incubate eggs. Pretty straightforward. It's going to be pretty handy once we get a flying mount. So we're going to go over to the volcano and try and see if we can get a dragon egg. And those are pretty important because they have a really powerful pal in them occasionally. They're not incredibly... not popular isn't the word. They're not incredibly common, I should say. The entire time I was playing my other server, which is pretty extensive amount of time, and a lot of effort went to looking for one of these, and I was never able to find a huge dragon egg that would have the pale that I'm looking for. So I actually had to end up going into the actual world and finding it and capturing it that way, which kind of sucked. But basically, it's a really early dragon egg that you can get as soon as you have the ability to fly, basically. It's pretty good, pretty handy. But we'll cross that bridge once we get to it, of course. Put half of our food in there. And then we need to go drop off our things. So let's go drop off the egg and our odds and ends here. All the droppables will go in here. Leather, wool. Hold on to the mushrooms, I guess. Put our wood away. Our fragments. Stone. And wow, we're already full up on capacity on this one. Storage is kind of an issue in some regards. They have a system that makes it so it's kind of foolproof, but it's kind of always it's an issue that's persistent. I'm not gonna lie. It is kind of there most of the time. So I'm gonna put, I think we only need 2 of these. And then as soon as these guys move, I will be able to, I guess I can just... I think just 2 plantations should be enough. And then we need to build a bed. So we kind of need to make a little mini house for ourselves somewhere on the base here. So let's... because the house needs to have a proper ceiling and foundation for it to actually work. So we'll just put it right here, I guess. As far down as I can possibly get it. Okay. And I don't even think you need proper house or anything. You just need to have like something like this. Just like a very basic, not even house, just a little structure with a roof on it so you don't get rained on at night. And then you can actually place it on your bed. Like so, like that. And I should be able to sleep the day away like this. I needed this for my base upgrade, though. So we'll be able to put this down. And then we should be able to upgrade our base so that we can not only have an additional one of these, but more pals inside our base itself. So max number of bases went up, and so did the number of pals. All right, and because we did a lot of stuff in between, we're actually going to be able to blast through a lot of these levels. So let's just start upgrading here. So we need to build a feed box and a bed, which we've done both of those. So now we just need to build a campfire because we've already built a plantation and we have already deployed work at our base. Make a quick campfire. That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Let's put it next to our bed over here, I guess. Make it kind of look cool. Here. Should be fine. Should allow for another upgrade. While we're over here. So we can upgrade the berries. We can cook our berries to basically give them more nutrition. But in order to do that, we need to have someone with the kindling ability, aka the fox sparks that we had. So first off, let's go through. Let's make the beds that we need. We need the wood for that, so let's grab the wood for that. Like so, like that. All right, well, we have some downtime here while I'm gathering some materials. Down in the comments, I want you guys to tell me what you think of this game and what you think about the lawsuit going on. Basically, Pokemon is suing Palworld for their game design. The fact that we capture pals and into a little orb and then deploy them again for work. But I think it's completely unique in its own unique bed. You know, like it's a gun game. It's like a shooter with Pokemon running around that you capture. I mean, I can see Pokemon's side or angle with that, but I really like this game, and I really like once we really get everything up and working, you can completely automate a base basically, and just like give orders here and there, and that's all you have to do to produce all the materials you're ever going to need throughout the game. And just the design of that, I think that's so cool. Like, there's nothing like that in any other games that you can really find. So I'm a little upset that this game might be going away, but that's all right, because we can record this and it will always be there. They might be changing some base game mechanics. Basically, they have to like go through. There's like, it's either they're going to give over the rights to Pokemon, and like any plans that the original creators had for this game would be completely changed, or they're going to revise the game mechanics themselves, which I'm not a fan of because I like this game and the mechanics. So I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting to hear what other people are thinking about that and what they may have heard in regards to the lawsuits. And also, while you're at it, leaving a nice little comment. You should tell me what kind of games I should play, or what kind of content you like to see. I've got right now. I've got 3 games going on. I'm gonna kind of keep it at that rate, like 3 games, and then oh my gosh, intermediately or in between each. I'm just gonna cycle through. Okay, I don't know. My brain is just not operating today. Basically, I'm just gonna cycle through 3 games and like record those games as I go, and then release those games until I'm done with them, and then pick up a new one. I've got The Walking Dead going right now. The Telltale series, the very first one, like the very first Telltale game I've ever played. And that is like intense. Like that's stressful. Like it's really good game design. If it's really getting your heart beating like that, like it's life or death, like what you're doing, you know. And then I also, on the other hand, I have Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm a pretty big fan of that one. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of biased a little bit, I guess. It's like my favorite kind of, I don't know, genre and everything, the whole kit and caboodle, like everything about it is just awesome. It did kind of get like a really bad rep when it first got released because of the really bad game, I don't know, platform or something. Like it just kept crashing over and over again. There's like bugs found everywhere. Like they released it way too soon, and it was like this huge issue for many involved who were trying to actually play the game. So I stayed away from it. Basically up until this point. So it looks like both these guys are gonna be really, really good here. I need to deploy one of the penguins for watering. And then we have a planter, gatherer, and a forester. So I guess here, that's a dragon killer. This guy's a workaholic. There's no point in not putting workaholics. They get like a that's not what I thought it was. Okay, but muscle heads are the increase the damage and decrease the work speed, whereas this guy just eats less, or no, the sanity drops slower. So that'll do. That'll work for now. This guy's just a waterer. Okay. So everybody here, actually, we need to upgrade our base here again so we can put more pals in. So we need to get a pal gear workbench and then a statue of power. We're probably gonna stop here for this episode once I explain everything that I just did. Here, let's put what is the pacifist? That's fine. And then put that guy in there as well. Actually, we need another waterer. So work speed plus 50, no point in not putting that guy in, right? So we'll just swap those guys out. Should be fine. Got 3 people that plant, gather, and then 1 that or 2 that would be watering. Do I need 2 that waters though? That's the question. And because I don't have, well, we'll see. I mean, yeah, because look how slow that is. But that's all these folks are gonna be doing. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's explain what I just did. So I put all the pills that we're gonna need here. Basically, I put all the pills that we're ever really gonna need to fully automate this base. The planters and the gatherers, so the life monk and the monkey dudes, so those guys over there that are chopping down the tree right now, they will plant the seeds, and then the penguin and the elephant dude over here, they water the seeds, and then it has to go through a growing phase, and then once the growing phase is done, they need to be gathered, and that's what the gathering proficiency does with those guys. So they'll basically come back here and gather everything. And then they start the cycle all over again. And then it's an infinite food supply. Once everything is all said and done here, the pals will automatically bring the food over here to this spot over here. As long as there's not a spot for them to be filled in one of these chests over here, in which I should make sure that they don't do that. So any ingredients and food should be turned off over here. And then other consumables that counts. So we'll keep that there. So all this food would be put into this deposit, and so basically the workers that are employed will be basically providing enough food to feed everybody, and so we won't ever have to worry about feeding our pals again. So that's what all that just did. And then over here on this end, this guy hasn't been given a task yet. He will be basically in charge of all our edibles. So if we wanted to cook up all the berries that we have on our person, we would queue this up, and then he'll come over here and then kind of like flamethrower the fireplace and then cook up all our berries, and it's really nice, really nice. Oh, before I forget, I need to make the beds. So over here we have what, 5? We have two waterers, so we'll do you mind moving, dude? Because I would really like to put these next to each other. So put the 2 waterers right there, and then for the actually, I'm going to move this guy just so we have more space over here if we need it. So when you press B, you can press C to go in disassembly mode, and you would get back any of the materials used for the item that you just made. So for this instance, we got all the wood and the fiber back that we used to make it. Pretty simple. So 2 beds there, 1 for watering, or both for watering, and then we've got 3 guys that are going to be gathering and planting seeds. So I'm going to put 1 on this side for gathering, and they also double as tree dudes. So I'm going to have 2 guys kind of just put in spots over here. And then we'll build them up. That should be it. What am I missing here? So there's 2 watering. Oh, we need 1 more. No, that should be it. Did we put... Oh, we need the guy for the furnace. Okay. And so we will put the bed for the fire dude right next to ours, basically. Right there. Okay, and since they're all going to work on it, I'm not even going to touch it. Okay. So we did that. We need to make a primitive furnace. Oh, we need more flame organs. So we need to go capture... Dang. So that needs to be priority numero uno. I guess I'll just go do that real quick. We need to make that furnace so that we can smelt up those ores, which is the first thing I wanted him to do. Once we smelt up those ores, we can upgrade our equipment, our tools and everything. We can unlock guns and stuff like that, so on and so forth. And you kind of just keep on going throughout the game like this, getting new resources when needed. There's going to be a point when I need to go get more crystals. There's going to be a point when I need to go make a whole base for ore gathering so that we can have a whole bunch of ingots when the time is needed. But I'm going to do that next episode, I think. Once we get this guy all set, once we get the furnace all set up, we're going to basically stop this episode here. How many spheres do we have? Not a lot. We're going to try and finish the 30 pals up the top right there while I'm on my way, I guess. Just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And get a level up while we're at it. Alright, there's that. And 1, 2. And there's that one. What in the actual living? That was like a 98% chance. What is happening? I don't want to go into my settings and up all those things, but I will if I have to. And I might have to. Just based off current circumstance and what I've been... I don't want to kill this guy, but I mean, it might be... Well, that's a pretty good shot. I don't have any more... Perfect. So we were able to accomplish our task with the perfect amount of Pell spheres needed. All right. I'm getting kind of a dry throat. Okay. So we have all the resources needed for the furnace. We're going to basically put the furnace right next to this guy. We will... If there's enough people working on it, you don't even have to worry about it. So all this is used for is to make the ingots. And if you press this little key down here, allow transport by pals, it will allow the pals to come and pick them up when they're completed. So everything can be automated. You basically put it in the queue. A lot of times you'll have like way more ore than you would ever think you'll ever have. So you have like 1,500 ingots in queue, and I'm not even kidding. So all those ingots will automatically get brought to the chest you have it designated to, as long as you press that little checkmark button in the bottom. And as far as automating everything, we're pretty set on a basic setup. We'll always have food. We will have upgraded materials here in a minute. And we have a constant flow of stone and lumber. The only thing that we're missing in this particular area is to unlock the level 2 mining so that we can unlock permanently gaining infinite amounts of ore. And that's everything we're going to do in this episode, I believe. So if you like the video and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to be notified every single time I post a video, which is quite frequently, hit that little bell. Leave a comment below basically saying what kind of content you like, if you like the video, if you think I should do something different. I'm open to suggestions. This is a pretty new channel, so any help will be very much appreciated. Other than that, everybody who's watching, thank you much, and everyone have a great one. Bye bye.